race of attrition. Until next time, you keep it on the road, we'll keep it off-road.
Africa's northeastern escarpment, this low-fault area is home to some of the most breathtaking scenery the country has on offer. It also boasts a rich history and colourful culture, which draws visitors from far and wide. Mpumalanga also offers some of the best rallying routes in the country, which is why the annual Sasol Rally draws crews and spectators from far and wide too. This year's event, round 2 of the Sasol South African National Rally Championship, saw 63 crews entered, of which 59 would take to the start in the town of Sabi on the Friday morning. Over 2 days, the 200-kilometre stage route included 14 special stages, and the organisers, the South African Motorsport Club, threw competitors into the deep end with stage 1, covering more than 16 kilometres of tough gravel road.
Leading the field, Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen in their team Total Toyota Runex, competing in Class S2000. This is what it feels like.
Long left 4. Right 4 over bump, left 2 cut. Jump and jump, C100, right 6, into a left 6. The jump up, caution jump, left 7 opens, hairpin left, hairpin in.
Next up, the Works BP Volkswagen Polo of Jürgen Fecken and Pierre Aris. The VW pairing was expected to challenge hard for overall victory on the Sasol Rally. Fecken and Aris set the 3rd fastest time in stage 1, just 7 seconds off the pace. Winners of round 1 in the Western Cape and multiple former champions, Works Castrol Toyota Runex pair Serge Damso and Robert Paisley, were also seen as favourites to win the Sasol. The veterans were really on it, but disaster struck when they hit a rock and damaged a tie rod, which cost them about 2.5 minutes.
Reigning national champions Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson in their Works BP Volkswagen Polo were hoping to improve on their 6th place in round 1.
Right 9, bridge, right 6, tight 8, left 4 over crest, into long left 4, long left 4, and right 9. Left 3, into right 6, into left 2, cut, left 2, cut, jump, C100, right 7, into long to left 6, and caution jump, into a left 7, left 7, tightens the hairpin left, tightens the hairpin left, and right 8, opens.
This year, the competition in the top class S2000 is extremely competitive, and another favourite pairing was the Works VP Volkswagen crew of former champions Jan Habich and Douglas Judd. But their rally would be over shortly after this, as a number of punctures caused terminal suspension damage, and they withdrew after the end of stage 1. Graduating from the production car category to Class S2000 this year, Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh in their Works Castrol Toyota Runex. Gemmell had struggled a little to get up to speed in the previous round, but things were clearly improving as he and Marsh set the fastest time in the stage, taking an early 6-second lead in the rally.
Jean-Pierre Damso, son of Serge, and Kobus Frey in their team Total Toyota Runex were also in their 2nd event in Class S2000. News of the puncture-ridden front-runners may have filtered through as the pair took it easy to finish the stage 4th fastest. Also taking a step up this year, Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich tackled stage 1 of their 2nd event in the Class M4 Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru Impreza.
Back on board with Kuhn and Hodgson, who also suffered from the rough terrain. They hit a rock and would have to drive out of the stage on the rim of their left rear wheel. They would lose about 2.5 minutes in the process. The Sasol was beginning to bear its teeth.
Now, go for 300. Cut hairpin right. Hairpin right. And left 8. Left 8. And long left 9. The long left 9 is hairpin right in. Look for the hairpin right now in.
The battle in the production car category among the top class N4 runners was expected to be extremely close between the likes of first round winners Wilkin and Godrich, the team total entry of Fernando Roida and Gerard Snyman in their Mitsubishi Evo 9, and Paul Pfeiffer and Cindy Harding in their Evo 6. And defending class champions Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden in the Bosel Subaru Impreza.
Back at the head of the field, no problems so far for Lawrence and Vermeulen. These incredible onboard shots really gives one an understanding of just how busy both the driver and the co-driver are, and how small the margins for error.
And long right 4 tightens to a right 9. Hairpin left. Right 9 is on. Dan hairpin left. To a right 9 in. And jump. Right 8 in. To a left 5. It is right 9.
Another favourite for a solid result in Class N4 was the Pretoria pairing of Visser du Plessis and Dave Lefkowitz in their Pirtek-backed Subaru WRX STI, who finished second in class in the Western Cape. Father and son pair John and Douglas Williams also moved up to S2000 this year, finishing a respectable 8th in class on their home rally in the Guma-backed E-Works VW Polo. They were hoping for something better on the Sasol.
Leading the A7 Brigade following a class victory in round 1, Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin in their Works Castrol Toyota Runex. The pair, who also competes for Toyota in the National Off-Road Championship, kept it steady to set the fastest stage time in Class A7. Privateers Jaco Venter and Armand Dutoy in their Hyundai Trichard-backed Class N4 Subaru Impreza. Unfortunately, they lost a huge amount of time at this stage because a water pipe came off, forcing them to drive from spectator point to spectator point, begging for any kind of fluid to stop the car from overheating. In stage 2, they would retire due to shock absorber failure. Adrian Karth and Des de Fortier in their Class A7 Volkswagen Golf. The pair suffered a non-finish in the Western Cape and was hoping for at least some points on the Sasol Rally. They opened their account with a steady drive in stage 1, finishing 6th fastest in class. Barry Grobelaar and Mike Burrows in their Sasol Volkswagen Golf were expected to do well in Class A7 after finishing 3rd in class in the previous round. The pair can be very fast, but their trademark approach is to be fast and consistent. So they ended up 5th fastest in class in stage 1.
One of the most popular pairings amongst rally spectators in South Africa are the Lark sisters, Lola and Megan, the only all-women crew in National Championship rallying. Better known as the Rally Chicks, they're also competing in the FIA African Rally Championship this year. On stage 1, they took their team total Subaru Impreza to 5th fastest in N4. Being at the head of the field is akin to playing the role of sweeper, cleaning the loose gravel, so Lawrence and Vermeulen ended up 2nd fastest, 6 seconds behind Gebel and Marsh, and 1 ahead of Fecken and Aris. At the end of the stage, we caught up with some of the unhappy faces.
To a left 5, to bump, long right 7, rough, flying finish, was I?
It was quite a ragged start to the event. All 3 top cars hit a major rock. 2 of the 3 took out the wheels completely, so Serge and my teammate are still in the forest there. We were lucky to come out. We hit it at the back wheel, drove 15 kilometers of stage and 15 of open section, all without wheel, just on the rim. So we're very fortunate to get here, and we just have to take stock now and get to the end.
Bad start already. 2 Ks in the stage, we hit a rock on the left-hand side and punctured the wheel and damaged quite a bit of the car.
Stage 2 between Sabi and Graskop promised to be another tough challenge at just more than 22 kilometers of gravel. There'd been some overnight rain in the area, so making the correct tyre choice wasn't easy. After stage 1, Johnny Gemmell was 6 seconds ahead of Etienne Lawrence, with Jürgen Fecken a further second back, followed by Jean-Pierre Damso another 7 seconds down. With Jan Habich out of the rally and Enzo Kuhn and Serge Demso way down the order, the early battle for the lead was expected to be between these 4 S2000 crews. Kuhn, however, was determined to make up as much time on the front runners as possible from stage 2 onward. This is what it feels like approaching 200 kilometers per hour on gravel.
Gemmell and Marsh tried to build on their early lead. JP Damso and Kobus Frey in stage 2. Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich joined stage 1 winners in Class N4, were determined to pull out a lead and stamp their authority early on the event. Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman had shared the stage 1 Class N4 win with Wilkin and Godrich and were equally determined, but dropped 16 seconds in stage 2. Paul Pfeiffer and Cindy Harding, third in N4 after stage 1, would set a respectable time in stage 2 as well.
John and Douglas Williams have set a very good 5th fastest time in S2000 in stage 1 and were clearly beginning to feel more comfortable in their new car. Chris de Witt and Patrick Yende in their Class A17 Total Toyota Runex were lying 3rd in class after stage 1 and very keen to make up time. Tian Subad and Lawrence Duplessis in their VW Polo had been 2nd fastest in Class A7 in stage 1 and could cause the regular front runners some headaches this weekend.
Jürgen Fecken and Pierre Aris were clearly on a charge and knew that in this relatively long stage they could take some time off the 2 crews ahead of them. Fecken is one of the fastest and most spectacular drivers in South African rallying. Enzo Kuhn is also spectacularly fast, and with Guy Hodgson in the hot seat, the reigning champions could be a formidable force, despite their deficit of more than 2 minutes to the leaders. Early leaders Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh. Keep in mind, this is only their 2nd rally in this car. On board with the Castrol Toyota pair.
Wilkin and Godrich were flying and would pull out a lead of 16 seconds in Class N4 at the end of stage 2. After his win in the Western Cape, Wilkin had everyone talking about his ability to adapt from front-wheel drive cars in previous years to four-wheel drive in N4. Reuter and Snyman were also pushing hard, but on this stage they had no answer and finished 2nd in class. More drama for Serge Damso and Robert Paisley. Another puncture that would cost the team not only time on the stage, but also valuable time for repairs afterwards. In fact, the pair, who rarely has any good luck on this event, lost more than 9 minutes in this stage alone. Another solid, problem-free run for father and son pair John and Douglas Williams.
Joubert and Duplessis would go on to take the A7 win in this stage. On board now with Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen. And and this little spin would cost them about 20 seconds.
Long left 2, right 6, and left 8. Mooi kyk nou. 100. Right 1, left 2, right 3. Crest left 2, into a left 1. See 400. Acute hairpin left. Dis daai ding wat jy moet inbly, onthou jy? Acute hairpin left. 100. Links en links. 100. Links en links. Caution, bad jump. Right 18. Right 80 top. 100. And jump. Long left 7. And flying finish. Flying finish. No. Okay. Thought I feel road. That be okay?
Stage 3 was another 20-plus kilometre gravel affair just outside Graskop. And with things so tight at the front, only 3 seconds separated new leader Fecken from Gemmel. The heat was on. On board with production car leader Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich in the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru Impreza on stage 3. They had 16 seconds over Reuter and Snyman and were determined to extend that gap. But unfortunately things went horribly wrong as Wilkin lost control. His shouts of pain are clearly audible.
Both could get out of the car, but a subsequent visit to the hospital revealed some back injuries to Wilkin that could keep him out of rallying for up to 2 months. Lawrence and Vermeulen were pushing also, trying to make up for that error in stage 2. As were Kuhn and Hodgson.
Gemmel and Marsh were clearly revelling in the conditions, and with 3 seconds to make up to Fecken and Aris, they let rip. Jean-Pierre Damso and Cobus Frey had lost about 5 minutes in the previous stage due to, you guessed it, punctures, and were hoping that that was the last of their bad luck. It wasn't difficult to guess that the same thoughts were occupying the minds of Damso Senior and Robert Paisley.
Reuter and Snyman, the new Class N4 leaders after the Wilkin-Godrich accident. Cornier and Birkin, leading Class A7 by 19 seconds, would take their 3rd stage victory in class here. Barry Hrobler and Mike Burrows putting up another steady run in stage 3. De Wit and Yender beginning to make their presence felt in A7 as they set the 2nd fastest time in class.
Toyota and Volkswagen lead the way internationally by designing and building their cars right here in South Africa. See the difference in performance on the same stage between the Class S2000, which is for highly modified 2-litre 4-wheel drive cars at the top of your screen, and an A7 car, which is for 2-litre 2-wheel drive cars at the bottom of your screen. Stage 4, the last gravel stage of the day, was a massive 34 kilometres long, where things could go wrong very quickly, as they did for Jürgen Fecken in the previous stage. The BP Volkswagen crew lost a massive 11 minutes due to, indeed, 2 punctures. So after 2 stage wins out of 3, Johnny Gemmel was leading Etienne Lawrence by 17 seconds.
As has been the case for many years now, the 16th Sasol Rally drew massive crowds who filled every accessible nook and cranny to get close to the action. As the sun dropped slowly behind the pine forest, they knew they were witnesses to a serious battle up front. And Lawrence and Vermeulen knew that this is where they could make up the deficit, and they put up a spirited display on this very tricky surface. Despite lying outside the top 20, Fecken and Aries were still going, with evidence of bodywork damage at the rear.
Kuhn and Hodgson had moved up to third overall, and it seemed that their early bad luck was something of the past. Gebel and Marsh lost some time in stage 4, and in the process also gave up their overall lead. JP Damso and Quibus Frey had a huge deficit to overcome, but the car did not seem worse for wear, and they were within half a minute of the pace in this stage. Serge Damso and Robert Paisley had also seemingly shaken off their early bad luck, and although they were out of reckoning, they were still going hard.
Leading Class N4 and deceptively fast, Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman. Mr. Duplessis and Dave Lefkowitz were lying fourth in the production car category after a wrong tyre choice earlier. Here, on stage 4, however, the pair were closer to the pace. Now comfortably in the lead of Class A7 and lying 6th overall, Mark Cronier and Chris Birkin. Barry Grobbelaar and Mike Burrows now in a solid third position in Class A7.
Lola and Megan Verlark struggling for pace this weekend, and mistakes like these were not helping the rally chicks either. After stage 4, Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen were leading overall, but only 4 seconds ahead of Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh.
This was, yeah, it was a long one and rough. Lots of jumps, lots of ditches, lots of, yeah, it was a challenging stage. Very tight as well in sections, fast in sections. It was a good all-rounder, but we lost a bumper. I don't even know where, so it shows you how rough it was, you know. You're just going and going, so it must be a big rock or something knocking it off.
We had a very good first 2 stages. After stage 2 we were leading the rally, and stage 3, going into the stage we already had a flat wheel right rear, and we tried to get out of the stage with just a flat tire at the rear, and then eventually we also got a front puncture, so we decided to stop, change the front wheel and change the front wheel from front to back. So we had a very eventful stage 3.
Towards the end there, the car was a bit funny on the left front. Then there was another little bit that was added in the stage towards the end in grass. Couldn't see anything, and I hit a rock on the left, burst the left 2 tires. And fortunately it was not too far to the end.
Today's fun. We had a slow start, and then when we started pushing in stage 3 we had the wrong tires. Got a flat for 7 guys, lost exactly.
Who was in striking distance. Reuter and Snyman led N4 and Cronier and Birkin A7.
Further down the order, Michael and Robin Houghton were leading N3 and Etienne de Toy and Patrick Vermark N2. Making the smallest of mistakes. The crews hate it, but the crowd love it.
Stage 6 was another traditional town stage, White River, another short one, again with incredible atmosphere. At the start of this stage, Lawrence was only a second ahead of Gemmell, so neither could afford to take any chances.
Well, without lights and Sabi, it was quite airy. We've got a short somewhere, we don't know where it is, we're still trying to find it. We've got about 20 minutes to find the problem. So I don't know, we'll see now if hopefully we can get the alternator to charge, because I can't use any lights, so I'll use the park lights.
Lawrence was able to pull another 6 seconds away from Gemmell to lead the Sasol Rally overnight, as we caught up with some of the main players after a hard day's rally.
Well, we're definitely not going to take it lying down. We're trying very hard. We're making sure the car's in the best condition it can be. We lost our 2 minutes in the first stage, like most of my rivals, but we're fortunate to still be in the event. So we're trying very hard. We haven't made up a lot of time today, and we've got a slight problem with the car. We feel that it's a little bit down. I've got all my guys working on it. I trust on them, and tomorrow we're going to put up a real hard fight to climb our way back up there, where we belong.
Yeah, stage 1 went pretty well. Stage 2 we won, and then we were leading the rally. And then stage 3, as we started the stage, I already got the puncture, what was it, right rear. And we tried to get out of the stage, just continue, and about 12 k's into the stage, the rim was breaking up, and we stopped to change it. And then we also got another flat wheel, the front, right front, also a puncture. So we lost, I think, 11 minutes on that stage.
You know, we've heard a lot about the Sasol, but we're feeling it, and it's been quite a hectic learning curve for us. But the first couple of stages we had a really great day. It's just the stage 4 we unfortunately hit a little something in the grass. I'm not too sure what it was, and we popped a shock. But the guys did a great job. I mean, they're back up and running. The car feels great. The last stage, everything's still tracking in the right direction. So credit where it's due to the guys at the team. They've really done a great job.
It's very rough. It's been very rough. We've had, you know, we kept in the middle of the road. You know, we had quite a big fight with Wilkin this morning. You know, we had the same time on the first one. He took a bit of time on the next one. Then we changed tires. Then he fell out, unfortunately. And then we've just kept in the middle of the road. And on the last long one, we had a puncture with 7 k's to go, which I thought was going to be crucial, but lucky for us, so did Brian. So all the other guys also had a puncture. So everybody's had problems, but it's fine. We're leading Group N quite comfortably, and we need a good result. We haven't had one for a long time.
It's rough out there. I think to get to the end of day 1 on this event is a good start for day 2.
Yeah, you know, I started badly in the first stage, choosing the wrong tires and having a puncture and wrecking half of the suspension off. I mean, the guys put the car together again, you know, we replaced the shock absorbers, and they've done very well. And then in the second stage, and I had 2 punctures again, so it doesn't look like this rally is, I should have stayed home maybe.
Quite rough, eh? Quite rough, the conditions. In the 33k stage, we had some problems. Took out 2 left tires and 2 shock absorbers, but otherwise all right. It was near the end. We got a spare wheel, got back to service. The guys sorted it out in enough time, and we're back into it.
So Fecken and Aris were fastest with both stage wins, whilst Kun and Damso Senior sandwiched rally leader Lawrence. Over the same section, these were the fastest crews in various classes, although it does not reflect the overall class positions.
7 Sasol Rally, and stage 7 is another traditional one, the Subaru Super Special, where 2 evenly matched cars compete on 2 routes that are the mirror image of one another. They start together, and theoretically they should cross the finish line side by side. First up, Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson in the BP Volkswagen Polo. Third overnight versus Serge Damso and Robert Paisley in the Castrol Toyota Runex, who were 29th overall after the previous day's disasters. Although it seemed as if Kuhn had a slight edge, the two crossed the line in exactly the same time.
Now Jean-Pierre Damso and Kobus Frey in their team Total Toyota Runex, and Jürgen Fecken and Pierre Aris in the BP Volkswagen Polo. These are the young lions in South African rally. They have had many a head-to-head contest over the years. That little slide caused Damso Jr. to lose out by a second.
Now overnight leaders Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen in the team Total Toyota Runex versus Cape Town pairing John and Douglas Williams in the Guma Volkswagen Polo. Lawrence took it by a second. Chris de Wit and Patrick Yende in the Class A17 Total Toyota Runex against Barry Grobelaar and Mike Burrows in the A7 Sasol Volkswagen Golf. These two crews put up exactly the same time.
Sweep left. On board with Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman in the team Total Mitsubishi Evo 9. Just to give you an idea what it's like and what it takes.
Okay, 100, sweep right. Yeah, all the way to the end. Keep left, straight again. And then 100 hairpin right. Hairpin right there. Left and right, narrow, and then side sweep left. Okay, side sweep left here. 150, hairpin right. Straight on.
Stage 8 was 12 kilometers long around the Witlip Dam between Sabi and White River. By now, it was clear that the battle for supremacy would be between overnight leader Lawrence and Gemmell, who had taken a second out of Lawrence's lead in the Super Special. The peace and tranquility would not last for long.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, 1 minute 45 seconds off the leaders, seem to have found some pace after being low on power the previous day. Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh in the Castrol Toyota Runex were determined to keep the pressure on the leaders and hope to claw back more time. But Lawrence and Vermeulen were not going to have any of that.
Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin were still comfortably in the Class A7 lead in their Castrol Toyota Runex. Looking good overnight with a third position in Class N4, Cape Town pairing Paul Pfeiffer and Cindy Harding in their Mitsubishi Evo 6. Second overnight in N4, Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden in their Bosel Subaru Impreza. 19th overall overnight, but now flying, Jürgen Fecken and Pierre Aris in their Volkswagen Polo.
29th overall overnight, but also not giving up, Serge Damso and Robert Paisley. Third in Class A7 overnight, Barry Grobelaar and Mike Burrows. Like most other crews, they knew that the rally could still hold many surprises, but they had their sights firmly set on the 1 minute 15 seconds deficit to Chris de Wit and Patrick Yende. Class A6 leaders Sally de Toy and Gert van Rensburg in their team Total Toyota Runex. Third in Class A6, Stephen Wilkin and Gert Minabe in their VW Polo, about 2 minutes off the pace.
Damso Sr. had taken Stage 8, and up front Lawrence had extended his lead over Gemmell to 15 seconds. Stage 9, at just under 15 kilometers, was on the same road between White River and Sabi. Fast right-handed sweep followed by a tight turn almost caught out father and son John and Doug Williams. Doug, in fact, is the senior, reading notes to junior. On board we go with production car leaders Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman. They had about 2 minutes over Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden, but could not afford to take things too easy.
Left 2 and left 2, tightens to 9. Right 6. 250, left 1 at 3.
out and see how a champion does it. Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson. Gemmel and Marsh making sure that they stay in touch and keep the pressure on Lawrence and Vermeulen. The rally leaders were equally determined to hold on to their lead by not making any mistakes. Nicely done.
Class A7 leaders Mark Cronier and Chris Birkin clearly have no problem adapting between off-road racing and rallying, keeping in mind this is only a front-wheel drive car. Ryan and Van Heerden second in N4 by about 2 minutes. See how much more quickly the four-wheel driven Subaru can get out of the corner. Back with Reuter and Snyman, who would lose 11 seconds to Ryan and Van Heerden in this stage.
Open right 8, 200 flying finish. Okay.
Fecken and Aries were flying, once again winning this stage and taking their 4th stage win. Were it not for 2 punctures early the previous day, they could well have had a solid lead by now. Damso and Paisley were also flying and would go 3rd fastest on this stage. They were clearly treating the rally now as an extended test session.
Here's another interesting comparison. From the top, Jürgen Fecken, Nicholas Ryan and Barry Grobbelaar. Notice how they approach the corner on different lines, place their cars in different positions at the apex, and yet exit at exactly the same spot. But at the end of the rally, a problem reared its head which forced the organisers to cancel the stage. This is where Reuter and Snyman are now. But the problem was that at one point in the stage, the instructions on the road book and those in the prepared pace notes did not correspond, resulting in some crews being unfairly disadvantaged.
Left 5 open.
The road book is regarded as the final authority in case of any doubt, but most crews rely these days on pace notes that they receive along with a DVD with exactly this kind of footage of each stage. The cancellation was a pity, and this was one of the fastest and most enjoyable stages of the entire event. But at least we can still sit back and enjoy it.
Right 4, Grace left 8. And hairpin right. 60. Left 7.
Section 3 results again show the strong drives by the likes of Jürgen Fecken and Serge Damso, with rally leader Lawrence right on the pace, while second place Gemmel was slowly beginning to lose touch. In this section only, the pace setters in the various classes.
With 4 stages to go, Lawrence was leading Gemmel by 20 seconds. But the Sasol Rally is notorious for a sting in the tail, and nothing could be taken for granted. Stage 11 was just over 26 kilometers long, just outside Sabi, below the Longtom Pass. Despite the Sasol Rally's reputation for things going wrong for the front runners in the final few stages, Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson were still pushing, hoping to force any of the 2 leading crews into a mistake. On this stage, they would go 4th fastest.
Gemmel and Marsh would lose another 27 seconds to the rally leaders, so perhaps they'd resign themselves to a second-place finish. Lawrence and Vermeulen, on the other hand, were still pushing and would win this stage, their second stage win of the event. A7 leaders Cronier and Birkin would extend their class lead by another 18 seconds in this stage.
Ryan and Van Heerden would take the N4 stage win, cutting 17 seconds off their deficit to Reuter and Snyman. Fecken and Aries were second fastest, only 2 seconds slower than the rally leaders in this stage. Damso and Paisley were third fastest. Their testing session was going extremely well.
Chris Chris de Wit and Patrick Yende were comfortably second in Class A7, although they needed to continue pushing to keep Barry Grobbelaar and Mike Burrows at bay. Mr. Duplessis and Dave Lefkovich in the Pitek Subaru WRX STI had moved into third position in N4. Grobbelaar and Burrows were relatively safely ensconced in third in A7.
On board again with Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman. It pays not to look too closely at the drop on the outside of the sweeps and corners.
250 left 6. Puncture. Left 6. 100 right 6. Right 6 opens. 100 right 8 in. Right 8 in. Crest right 1. And caution jump hairpin left. Jump left 6. Left 3 down. And right 9.
With Lawrence now leading Gemmell by 47 seconds and Kuhn about another minute and a half back, the top three seem to have settled in their positions. Stage 12 on the way back from Sabi to White River was just over 12 kilometres of gravel.
Reuter and Snyman had lost some of their lead in N4 during the previous stage, but did not seem too discouraged about it in stage 12. Gemmell and Marsh picked up the pace a little and set an identical time to that of rally leaders Lawrence and Vermeulen. Let's see again what it feels like to be inside the cockpit of a rally leading car, courtesy of Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen as they tackle stage 12.
Cronier and Birkin had had a faultless run so far, never troubled in Class A7. JP Danso and Cobus Frey would take the overall stage victory here, their first of the event. For the fourth successive stage, Ryan and Van Heerden were the fastest N4 crew. The defending class champions never in a mood to give up.
This time, Fecken and Uries were only third fastest, but they were closing in on a top 10 overall finish, a remarkable comeback drive. As was the one by Serge Damso and Robert Paisley, who was second fastest on this stage and had climbed to well inside the top 15. De Wit and Yende were still comfortably second in A7.
Although Grobbelaar and Burrows took 1 second off them in this stage. Reuter and Snyman had made the break in N4 the previous day after the demise of Wilkin and Godrich and was certainly not going to sacrifice a possible class win by doing something stupid.
Kuhn and Hodgson also keeping things cool but pushing just hard enough to take advantage should one of the leading two crews run into trouble. Let's rejoin rally leaders Etienne Lawrence and Andre Vermeulen.
Right 9, no cut, no. And left 9. Left 9. Stop and jump. 3, caution. To right 6. C to 20. Left 8. 120. Right 7 in. 100.
Here's Gemmell and Marsh showing off their skill. The fast and consistent Cronier and Birkin, leaders in Class A7.
stage winners Jean-Pierre Damso and Cobus Frey. Nicholas Ryan and Schalk van Heerden. And the flying Fekken and Lefkovic.
Damso and Paisley still enjoying a trouble-free test. But let's complete stage 12 with rally leaders Lourens and Vermeulen.
Hairpin right, possible lock on outside. Hairpin right. Very long stretch, middle. C200 double flying finish. Flying finish. No. If you want, you can have me. The last of your cars around.
With Lourens still leading Gemmell by 47 seconds, crews tackled the final gravel stage of the 2007 Sasol Rally. The same stage as in the morning around Witlip Dam. None of the front runners was going to take any chances, while those on comeback missions really had nothing to lose.
It was a fitting scenario with which to conclude the serious running on this year's Sasol Rally. Reigning champions and former Sasol Rally winners Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson. A great performance so far from S2000 newcomers Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh. On board for the final time with rally leaders Lourens and Vermeulen.
Left 5 in. Crest, middle and flying finish. Left 5. The road I board operating.
Wonder if they would have taken that call during this stage. With only the final stadium stage to go, Cronje and Birken were assured of their second successive Class A7 victory. Damso Jr. and Frey took it easy in stage 13 to ensure their fourth place in S2000.
Not so for Ryan and van Heerden, who again went fastest in this stage in Class N4. Blasting through the forest, Fekken and Aries took their fifth stage win of the event more than anyone else. Damso Sr. and Paisley also continued pushing, going second fastest in this stage.
Duplessis and Lefkovic consolidated their third place in N4 with another steady drive. And the rally chicks would make it to the finish for the second rally in a row, despite some problems.
How's it going?
Power steering comes packed up, so my hands are really sore. I've had to work quite hard, but it's fine. We're nearly there.
So that was the end of the serious rally. Now only the final short stadium stage to bring all the finishers home. Largely a ceremonial finish, the 14th stage was just less than a kilometre long in the Nelspruit Showgrounds. For some, it would be a major achievement, as just over 50% of the original starters made it to the end, while for others, it would be a real grandstand finish. The stands were fully packed and the route lined with hundreds of people, a real festive atmosphere to celebrate the end of what has become a red-letter day on the local calendar.
Reuter made full use of his four-wheel drive machinery to navigate the remaining puddles after the heavy rain just more than a day before, as did Enzo Kuhn, who knew that he could have won the event had it not been for the problems of day one. Rally leaders Etienne Lourens and Andre Vermeulen also gave new meaning to the phrase splash and dash.
The Team Total Toyota pair celebrated their first overall victory in 4 years and their first one in an S2000 car. Unfortunately, the sting in the tail came for them as, during the post-event scrutineering, their car was found to be outside the technical regulations, leading to a 10-minute penalty.
It was a crushing blow for Lourens and Vermeulen, who don't prepare the car themselves, but it elevated Gemmell and Marsh to victory. We caught up with John Eddy's workshop afterwards.
Not too happy about winning after Etienne got his penalty, but we can't do anything about it. It's happened, and we're leading the championship now. The whole team's ecstatic, and only our second event with the team and the new car. It was a quite tough event, 2 days in the mountains in Sabi and White River. No, we're very happy.
Taking the production car and Class N4 victory, Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman.
Well, it's actually great. We never managed to score one last year, so we were very dry, and it's fantastic to be back here, be right up there, and you know, it's wonderful. Leading the class is really a wonderful feeling.
Spectacularly successful was the Sasol Rally, and all smiles from Sasol Oil's Managing Director, Mr. Maurice Radebe.
This event is a great event for Sasol. It means a lot of support that we get from the community here in the Mpumalanga area, and as well as the participants and the support to our brand. It means a lot. We're very proud of the winners that are here, and we also want to thank the organizers of this event, particularly Veli du Plessis, who's the clerk of the course. He's been faithfully committed, always organizing this to the best of his ability, and it's a great event, as you have seen. I would like to congratulate him and his team. Well done, and also congratulate all the winners. Well done. It's great.
Everything that we planned actually worked out, and with the help of a great sponsor like Sasol, obviously things are a lot easier. But with their contribution and my team members who've been doing this for many, many years, I think it's been even a bigger success than what we hoped for.
So Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh take their first overall victory, followed by reigning champions Enze Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, with Fernando Reuter and Gerard Snyman finishing third overall and winning the production car category.
The class winners then, Gemmell and Marsh in S2000, Reuter and Snyman in N4. The Houghton brothers in N3, Etienne de Toy and Patrick Vermaak in N2, Cronje and Birkin in A7, Wilken and Ninabe in A6, and Zulu and Peskin in A5.